Hey y'all, we are back with a new season of Candid Convos with Evolving Soul and Family. So,
yes.
Hey! Yes, we did. I am Tameka J.
I am Lady L.
And I am Brownie.
So we're so excited to be back, y'all. It feels like we've been gone forever, right? Real quick, we are just going to share
our watch party. Share as well.
Yes. Please
so
do,
again, when you share, please share it from the Evolving Soul LLC page. Thank you.
Okay. So again, hey everybody. We are super duper excited to be back with a new season of Candid Convos. We know what we've been doing during the break because we are family. But we're just going to update you guys on what has been happening, what's been going on with us. Me personally, I've been expanding Evolving Soul.
Yes.
And I've been I've now released a t-shirt line called Solidified Apparel. So please check out Solidified Apparel.
Yes.
More to come with that. I'm super excited. I'm collaborating with a couple of different people who are helping me out with this. And also in March, the end of March, I will be at the Pink event. I'll be a guest speaker, a guest panelist at the Pink event in Timonium. So I'm super excited about that.
So proud of you, Meg.
Yes.
And please,
Thank
definitely,
y'all.
she put it out there. She puts it out there all the time. Get your tickets, etc. Just be there, to support.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Get your tickets.
Yes, we're so proud of you, girl. We all been making big moves throughout this whole break.
What have you been up to, Miss Lady L?
So as some know, I actually have now my own shoe brand. So it will be launching in June for my 43rd birthday. Myself, Miss Brownie, as well as our other team members have been working really hard this year, and I cannot wait. The name has changed. We're doing big things, and I just have to, kind of make sure I bring my cousin in on it to get the rest of the marketing part of it going with Lexus. So we're ready for that.
Miss Brownie, what have you been up to, ma'am?
Shopping.
I'm gonna take a sip, y'all.
Right. Shopping.
Yeah, some retail therapy, y'all know.
You are crazy.
Oh my
You got
goodness.
some apparel for me?
We're looking for sponsors, so hey, if you want to sponsor, we'll bring your products on. All right.
Yes. We will also be starting back Black Business Fridays.
Yes.
So we have a couple of people that will we've already have in mind, but if you definitely want to be featured, we would love to have you send in DM Evolving Soul LLC, and we'll make sure that we get you in the rotation.
Yes, so we are excited about those who we are going to have for Black Business Friday. The first one will kick off next week.
Yes.
We are super excited about our guest, Miss Keisha. And we'll be posting more about that. You guys will see more about that coming up. So I don't want to ruin too much and kind of put it out there because we are ready to start our show.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And today's topic is
Dun, 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 dun.
what's going on? Black History Month. So
Yes.
we basically decided we have a lot of topics we want to talk about, but of course, with this being February, we decided that we will make this topic, of course, about Black history. But it's going to be based off of our experience growing up, what we learned throughout, the years, what we did and or didn't learn.
Right.
As well as, what we do for our kids. So let's get to it. And what we want to do, before we start, we want to say, please definitely join in on the conversation. Tell us what you learned. As you know, at the end of the segment, we always, go in with the questions. And the questions, we look forward to the questions. So definitely, please, be a part of the conversation.
Right. So we'll come back to those questions so that you guys know that. Black History Month is so important. And with that being said, what I realized is that I know growing up in Montgomery County, I didn't learn too much about Black history. And it wasn't until I went to Eastern Shore and I took an African American history class that I learned more about us as a culture, our history, and really realized the importance of our history. So, most people learn about the Big Four, now 5, but the Big Four, Harriet, Malcolm, Martin, and Rosa. And now Obama, right?
Now Obama. But, I'm sitting here saying, wow, because you're saying that you first pretty much learned about it in college.
Right.
So that's telling me, again, what I don't recall learning about it in, high school as well. And it's like, I remember doing the elementary projects, but that's it. That's all. So.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's sad.
Right.
That's really sad because this generation is the generation that's going to lose out on that because they're not actually learning the importance of the Black history. We have so many things as Black people that we've invented that people just don't know about. I mean, you have entrepreneurs out there that invented stuff or branded stuff or even just put their stamp on it, and it's like our kids nowadays don't even know anything about that.
We don't. And what we, going back to what you were saying just now, it's so funny because I teach my kids that we are Black history. We are, not just what you see, out there commercialized. Don't get it twisted. They are, everyone, that basically got us here today is what made, us who we are today. But I teach them, you are. Now you have a chance to make a difference just as those individuals did for us.
Right. So, did you learn about did you guys learn about Black history in school? So you said not in high school. What about elementary or middle school? Do you
Elementary,
remember?
I remember doing the projects. I remember my mom doing the projects just as I do with my kids. But, I don't recall in high school, learning, no.
I think, like you said earlier, we learned the 4 basic Black history people who stuck out the most, which was the Martin and the Malcolm X and the Rosa Parks and all those stories. But the stories that I've learned in today's society, I've had to learn that on my own.
Right.
I've had to study that on my own. Even in college, I went to a historical Black college, but even in college, it wasn't forceful of, Black power and all that, but it was just like, okay, I go to a historical Black college, but what does that really mean?
Yeah, exactly. And in saying that, I hope you're watching, Cousin Chana, because I know you're going to eventually be the one to chime in. I want you to definitely chime in on this subject, on especially what Miss Brownie just said, and give us your take.
Yeah, because when I think about it, when I go back to being at Eastern Shore, of course, because the location of Eastern Shore was part of the Underground Railroad, if y'all didn't know. And the Eastern Shore is where Harriet Tubman was from. So we learned a little bit more about, I learned a little bit more about Harriet Tubman, her history, where she grew up, where, the Underground Railroad, and no, Portia, there's not a real train that runs through it. Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Really.
That was a little shade I had to throw in there.
I know, but it's
that
so
was like a real
funny
funny episode, y'all. That was a real funny episode, y'all.
I was thinking that.
But and then when we say we learned about, Martin and Rosa and Harriet and Malcolm, what we learned about Malcolm was that Malcolm was violent. That's what I learned in school.
Yeah, but watch the.
But what growing up, what we learned about him is that he was passionate about our people.
Yes,
correct.
And then Netflix got a show on it, so watch it. It's very
and I've watched it, but I wanted to watch it first, but I plan on sitting down with my daughter and actually watching that, because I want her to understand that his movement wasn't really a violent movement, and it wasn't about
like he's being portrayed,
right.
He was portrayed,
right. And so I want her to learn more about our history. We built the White House, and we there was an invention there were inventors we were inventors of the stoplights and Jack Daniel's liquor that some of y'all drink. So, we want to make sure that our kids, it's so important for our kids to know and understand our history, but not only know and understand our history, to also know how important, like you said, how important we are as a people, and how bright and smart and intelligent, and that we can do any and everything that we put our minds to, regardless of what's being seen or what's being shown in today's society.
And don't give up. Like we said, because like most people only know the four. They did not give up. They kept fighting until the end, no matter what. And it goes back again to, parents, when they teach you, no one can tell you no but yourself. At least I know my mama told me that. But, no one can tell you no but yourself. So, listen.
So, how do you guys teach your children Black history nowadays?
Well, for me, it was exposing London to the new museum, and taking her there. And when we went through the different exhibits, just explaining a little bit about, some of the things that at least what I knew, so that she can understand it more. But also, like, learning with her, because I'm still learning every day. I feel like I'm still learning more. And when I went to the new museum, like, it was just like, wow, I never knew.
Exactly.
Wow, like, wow, we're great people, you know what I mean? Like, I already knew that, but it's like, dang, for real, like, oh man, we did that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like the things that we take
taught me a lot
for granted nowadays.
A lot of things we take for granted.
Like it's just
like wow, like oh my God, we invented that. Like
right.
Yes.
As people, we were smart, but back then they wanted us to seem so stupid.
Right.
To the point where we felt like we weren't worth anything, or couldn't amount to anything, or couldn't be anyone. But looking at, like you said, at the African American History Museum, which is located in Washington, D.C., for those who don't know, they exposed us to a lot of things that, as people, we didn't know.
Yes.
And even like today, and what makes me mad about some of the things that I see from these young kids, they don't respect the things that these people had to go through to get where we are today.
Yes.
And that's the thing that I instill in
the sacrifices
in my kids. It's like there was a sacrifice that happened.
Yes.
Things didn't happen overnight.
Right.
Yes.
The houses, the cars, the shoes, the clothes. people back in the day didn't even have that.
Yes, and I have to remind mine of that sometime because I have to let them know, going to what you're saying is, what the things you have today, you go back in the day, you wouldn't be able to live, because you just think that, these phones, that television, these clothes, these shoes is life. No, that's not life, honey.
Or, Mom, can I have some money? Here you go.
Right.
Just like that.
Yes.
Back in the day,
yes.
Did you know when they dissolved slavery, them people didn't have no clue about what to do after that, so they went back into slavery just to because that's what they knew, that's how they lived, and that's what they thought that's all they could do.
I mean, honestly, segregation didn't end in certain places. I mean, until the late 60s, early 70s.
Right.
So we are not far off from, being segregated in certain areas in certain states.
But
And
you know what's sad? Segregation is still happening.
It's still existing in certain places. It absolutely is.
Even where it's not existing, it still exists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People, if you've ever been racially profiled or went somewhere where someone didn't want to stand close to you, or you saw that they picked up something after you with a napkin or something, that's segregation, and it's still happening to this day.
And it's so right about that. And
that's racism and social.
It's
true.
I mean, it's happening a lot in the workforce too.
Absolutely.
So that's what I try to get. For me personally, I try to get London to understand her beauty as a black girl growing up. I know that I struggled. London was probably about 4 or 5, and she came home and was like, "Mommy, how come my hair is not straight?" And she named her white friend.
Camilla did that too.
And that broke my heart because it's like, yo.
But I struggled myself with colorism, with my complexion.
I did too back in the day. I did too back in the day.
I didn't like my complexion.
I did too.
I wanted to be lighter. I couldn't understand why my sister and my brother were much lighter than me. And then I would get called the names, and I'm like, they're so much more prettier. But then I had, thank God I had the strong mother I had too, to be able to say, you're beautiful. And then, just growing up, just embracing my black. My black is beautiful.
Right. But it's not, I mean, honestly, I've never, growing up, have you ever really seen, right now, I feel like now and in the last maybe 5 years, black women have embraced their, or black people have embraced their naturalism or being natural and embrace their blackness more than any other time that I've ever felt. And that's just in my own life, my lifetime. And so it's been easier for me to personally teach London about embracing herself as a black girl and teaching her about the different women. Michelle Obama was a great woman to actually, be in the White House and to be an inspiration to young black girls. At one point, Oprah was, I'm not really feeling Oprah right now, I'm going to just be honest, with everything that she's done. Her and Gail. But, I'm just... I'm serious. I'm so serious right now. Y'all laughing? I am so serious. I'm so not feeling Oprah and Gail right now. But it's just. But at one point, Oprah was like somebody who we all looked up to, and we all admired, and we all, well, as a black girl, we admired her, and we wanted to know about Oprah, and we wanted to be like Oprah because Oprah broke barriers as a black woman. And we want to teach our kids these things, and we want to teach our young girls and boys about women and men in our culture who are legendary, who have paved the way, who have done things that we are just so proud of. And not only that, but this month, we lost the legendary Kobe Bryant. He broke barriers in so many different ways. That loss was hard, especially during Black History Month. I feel like it was especially hard during Black History Month that we lost someone who was of his caliber, who not only him, but the other people that were on the airplanes, and then his beautiful daughter, who I didn't, I'm not a huge Kobe fan to where I follow Kobe and his life and all of that. So after his death, and I looked up more about his daughter because she was talked about a lot in interviews. He was talking about her a lot. But I watched some of her games and I watched her play, and oh my God, she was amazing. She was going to be a beast on the court, somebody to be reckoned with, and so just to lose Kobe and his daughter and the other people that were on the helicopter, but those two, who Kobe, a legend in the Black community, not only just in the Black community, but with what he did in basketball, but in the Black community, and then his daughter, a young Black girl who was making a way for herself.
Can we take this time to have a moment of silence?
Definitely.
For them?
Absolutely.
Praise to Miss, amen. Praise to Miss Vanessa too.
Oh yeah. Constant prayers. Y'all keep her in prayer.
But we're gonna even talk about my girl Walona. Y'all remember her?
Oh yes, yes. Good times and
Rest easy, baby. All of you, rest easy.
Yes. Growing up, just watching that, just think about those shows, y'all. Oh my gosh,
yes,
good times.
But shows like that, they don't even make anymore.
Yeah,
like those feel-good shows that
represent positive Black families.
Correct.
They actually, I want to say, what is that? Blackish, London Loves Blackish, Grownish, Mixish. I guess that's the line
the spin-off.
Yeah, the spinoff shows of Blackish. She absolutely loves them. I've never watched them personally, and maybe that's, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, maybe I need to. But Blackish, I heard, was a really good show. I'm gonna get into it, y'all. I'm gonna get into it. I've never watched it, and I've heard that it's a really good family show, and of course it's all Black, But when you get to Mixish, I've watched some of those episodes with London. It's about Tracee Ellis Ross's character and her growing up, and she was mixed. So her dad was white and her mom was Black, and it's a very interesting dynamic with his family and her family. So you gotta watch it. It's a really good show. I've seen some of those episodes, so I really, really like it. But you're right, there's no shows like The Cosby Show and A Different World, which made me want to go to a HBCU.
Yeah.
Martin. Yes, Martin. I watch reruns of that one, so, all the time.
Crazy. All of Us.
Oh yeah, all of us. I forgot all about that show. That was with what's his name? Tall dude.
Yes.
Tag, I can't think of his name. The comedian.
What was that with you guys? All of us.
Yeah, somebody let us know. I forgot the name. What's his name? But yeah, so yeah, those are good shows, and when I think about it, they really don't exist. And so we want to make sure that our kids are watching positive, influential.
It's just ratchet reality is what I call it, because I don't even watch it. No judgment to you guys.
How you gonna point to us though?
Right, to you guys.
To you guys.
I mean, that's what they have to view nowadays.
That is true.
And it's like, how do you measure up? How do you tell your kids that this is the way to live, or this isn't the
just
way?
like that. Let them know
Just like that.
reality. Just like that.
It's reality for some people, but it's not real. I mean,
It's not real. A lot of
it is, but it isn't. I mean, it is very scripted. A lot of it in the beginning was real, but it's become very scripted.
Okay, so going into that, although, yes, I do watch Ratchet TV.
I do too.
What bothers me is some of the shows, and I'm going to just only speak on one that it irritates my soul, that is showing black women as ghetto as heck. Real Housewives of Atlanta. To me, these women have such a platform to make a big difference, and you're using it pretty much to fight, fuss, curse, be this, be that. And, going back and talking that word. When I say it bothers my soul, because it's like me as a, successful black woman, seeing another real successful black woman just, demeaning yourself for what, television? It's
Yeah,
it bothers me.
I absolutely love and appreciate the Housewives of Atlanta. That's one of my favorite in the Little Housewives shows. That one and New Jersey. They're just so interesting to me. But anyhow, I want to see us do better. And I really enjoy Candy the most because she's like on it when it comes to success. Let me tell y'all something. That lady, Candy, and setting her daughter up with an internship with her, because her daughter wants to be a lawyer, so setting her up with an internship with her lawyer that is an entertainment lawyer. That was like, that's dope. You know what I mean? So it's just saying so many of those things. But yes, Ratchet reality TV, I have a guilty pleasure for it. And it's not good for our kids to see those things.
And, going back to what you were saying, how do we teach our kids? So what we do a lot as far as with the girls, we teach them a lot through projects, because one, we're learning, with them. Mm-hmm. We teach them through projects, and when I say our projects, I know those teachers be looking at us like, really? Yeah, y'all know that y'all didn't
right?
Do it, right?
Right.
When I say
Right.
We get so into those projects, y'all, because it's so interesting and fascinating, especially some of the people that Camille, for that matter, comes home and says, mm-hmm. Mom, I'm going to do a report or a project on this person. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm Googling just to make sure who is that person. And I'm like, okay, collecting, because now I'm excited for what I've learned of what that individual, has done to get us to where we are today.
Yeah.
So we teach them, of course, talking to them, but just through projects. And I highly recommend that. It is,
London does a lot of projects too, which I appreciate, especially in her school. And one thing that we didn't have in Montgomery County that they now have, that they have in PG, especially school systems, is she's so excited, and she's very excited about, is being on the step team.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so, we didn't have that. I didn't have that.
We had dances
we had dance
groups.
Yeah. But step and learning the history of step and where it came from, the sororities and the fraternities, like her learning all of that. She's learning that stuff now. And so just having those conversations with her about what she's learning and how she's learning, and her showing me the different steps and where it came from and the history of it. She's teaching me some things.
You be trying to step?
No. Yes, she does.
Maybe.
She does.
Maybe just a little.
She does.
I can't do it. I can't.
That is so funny.
But I mean, it's just, just learning those things and then saving those things for them when they get older, and them being able to see a lot of that and know a lot of that. So.
One thing you did mention about the fraternities and sororities, I like how they make them go back in history and learn the history of
the fraternity or sorority.
Correct. And learn why it's so important to be in that actual organization, and make them verbatim recited and all that. So I do like that. I never pledged because I never pledged, but I do like that aspect of it.
Right. I didn't pledge in undergrad either.
So how do you teach the boys? Like, how do you all teach the boys? And or being as though what you
were in
what do you do?
You are in education.
In education, what do you all teach the kids?
One thing I do is since my kids are so young right now, we do a lot of learning through play. And so if we're in the car, I'll ask them, what color is the light? And I'll tell them a little fact about the light and who made it, or go get mommy a comb or something like that. And I'll teach them
a hot comb.
Right. something like that. So that's kind of what I do. In my school, we do Black History programs, of which consist of either a Who Am I session, a wax museum. We just did one yesterday with kid entrepreneurs, displaying the current kids who have invented stuff.
Yes,
during
that's
this
important
time.
too.
I love it.
And so we do a lot of that. We try to stay away from the Fab Five.
Yes.
Because there's so many inventors out there
Outside of them.
that we want them to know about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
That is awesome.
I love it. Oh, well, we're actually going to come out to you all. I see, I know you catch me every now and then looking down on my phone. I see that there are a lot of
Questions and comments.
And then we're going to also have our production team read what is going on as far as the page. And I hope you all are, chiming in. I'll definitely start from my end. I'm sorry, I have to go all the way back up. Hey, Warren.
Hey.
Your brother-in-law said you ain't doing nothing but getting on his nerves. I guess going back to what you did all summer. Hey, Joe.
Philip.
Hey, T. I'm sorry. I know we just now chiming in. You said same for you. If you don't mind elaborating more on that at the end, and I'll get back to it. And hey, everyone that has weighed. Ataya, oh my goodness, you just made me, made my little chills go through my stomach. You said my father cried at the museum. That is so special. I mean,
wow.
That is special. And I know you definitely have a story as far as your father. And one day, I'm actually going to pull you in on one of those Fridays, and we're going to have a discussion just so everyone can hear your story, because I know it's beautiful, and I would love to definitely showcase it to everyone if you don't mind. My husband said, we make Camille and Kendall do projects on others, meaning the other outside the Fab Fives, not just the main, which makes a difference. Hey,
yes,
D, baby.
It does.
Phil also said, I think we as people need to be the role model and the ones our kids look up to.
That is
That
true.
Nothing but the truth. And we always are quick, as we say, they learn from us. Everything we do, they mimic. And I'm not just saying my kids, I'm just saying people in general. This is not saying, I know that there's a lot going on in the world. I'm not saying that those kids came from bad homes, because honestly, they probably came from great homes, but just decided to go a different path. So that is a real honest comment, babes. Blackish is a great show. Yes, D. I haven't really, I only watched a couple of episodes, but from what I've seen, it does seem like it's really great. Auntie really, she said that's why she doesn't have TV. It's too much negativity. Yes, D. Yes. Going back to what cousin Darian is saying, she said also Love and Hip Hop, which is nothing but the truth. Love and Hip Hop portrays, like we said, it's nothing but blacks, and some of them are on there. They're quiet, and I'll say that meaning Remy Ma. Like Remy Ma stay in her little lane. She don't really get into nothing. But the rest are you
She's
showcasing
changed a
other.
lot.
She has changed. My girl, Remy Ma,
I like
is doing
Remy
her
though.
thing. But the rest are
love her.
portraying other things that is just, not
And
cool.
Papoose.
And it's sad because
Black love.
we keep the shows going. Like
Yeah.
I said, I'm guilty of it. We keep it going. But, thank you, Auntie, good parents, everything. Hey, D, we're going to definitely catch your show one day, and I definitely want to get you on for Friday. So we'll definitely talk very soon. And that's Dwayne Davis, you all. Definitely follow him because he has a great podcast that, is out of this world. So we're proud of you, D. Yeah. Thank you, Uncle William, and Aunt Charlotte. We love you all. That's it from my end.
So question from Brandon says, do you all think segregation hurt us as a community?
Wow.
That is a
great
awesome question.
Great question, Cuzzo.
Do we think that segregation? I think that it's so funny because we were talking about what is it, Jen? Because you on and I see you on. Is it racial reconciliation or reconciliation? We're talking about it in Bible study, or is it? I can't think of the name exactly, but anyhow, I do believe that it hurt us as a community, but I also believe that it helped us as a community. And I do believe that during that time in that era, it was something that brought us closer together.
Yes.
And I believe that, during that time we were just closer as a culture.
Yeah, I think it
hurt us.
Closer.
I think in the way that it hurt us was we weren't taught the same way.
Right.
In some of the schools, we didn't have the same type of teachers. So I think that that's where it hurt us the most. But I do believe that it made us stronger because we were more determined as a people to succeed.
Yeah.
And I do believe that it's still that way today for the most part. Even though we have, those who want to still, live their lives not the right way. But I think that's in every race and every culture that happens. But I do believe that it has helped us and it has hurt us.
Yes.
So that's my view.
I will piggyback and I agree. It did, but I think it, going back to what you said, I think it made us stronger. Which is, meaning it made us stronger, and close together back then. What bothers me now, today, yes, I would say it did hurt us because there is so much black on black crime. And it's like, we fought so hard to get out of all of this to be back at it, so that's why, I don't know. I would say more so yes and no.
Yeah, you guys basically both said exactly what I was going to say as far as the segregation is concerned. Like you said, in today's society, it's hurting us now because we're segregating ourselves from each other.
Yes.
And not uniting as people.
Yes.
If we were to unite as people today, so many things would be shut down. So many people wouldn't be in office today. We can come together as people and we can do the damn thing.
When we come together, we are a powerful force.
To reckon with.
But okay, so Jennifer said to Brandon's question, it hurt black businesses. Yes. And it took black dollars outside of the black community. She is absolutely right. It did do that. There aren't as many black businesses anymore. And we don't support each other the way that we used to. And I think that we need to go back to that. And I think that when something happens, when Gucci released the monkey face or whatever it was, then we want to cancel Gucci for 5 minutes and then go back to Gucci and start spending our dollars there instead of focusing and spending our dollars on black businesses, on black people who are entrepreneurs and designers. And like Hanifa Official, she's one. She is the official, y'all. If you go to Instagram, like if you see my purple cardigan that I have on in my photo shoot, that is from a black designer. So we need to start supporting our black businesses more. You are absolutely right, Jen. That segregation did hurt us in that manner and in that way. And DC was one of the very places that had so many black businesses. U Street, H Street, everywhere. All of those were black businesses, for the most part. Yeah. Brandon also had a question saying, as dark-skinned black women, do you all think there needs to be more representation of women who look like you all? I believe that now there are more representation. I believe that nowadays there's more representation of darker women, curvier women, you know, and just women of color, period.
Yes, natural. Yes.
So I believe that when we were growing up, that is what was lacking, and that is what people, you know, where we got teased and called black and darky and big lips and all of those. I just remember all of those names.
Yes. And what you see now, everyone trying to get the big lips, the big butt, you know. They're tan and all of that.
Right.
You know?
They want to be darker and they want to be thicker and they want their lips to pop. So, you know, I think that now we are being represented more.
Yes.
And I like it. I love it. I love the representation.
I love it. And go ahead, baby. You are bringing the questions for real.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Next, come on, bring them on.
Any other questions? Do you have any questions over there?
I do. Philip Jackson also said, I think back in the day, we helped and supported each other more. We don't support as much now than we did back in the day. I feel like a lot of times we as people try to keep up with the Joneses. That is nothing but the truth, and it's a sad reality that, you know.
And go broke for it too.
Oh my goodness.
Go broke for it. Jesus.
Real broke. broke.
Yeah.
Y'all be broke.
Right.
For it. You know, trying to stunt.
Ain't stunt. And I'm just like, I have to tell people, you know, not to people, I'm sorry, I tell my kids, social media, don't get caught up in the hype of social media, because a lot of that is fake. Like, a lot of that is fake. So you're right about that, babe.
That is so, it's so crazy, because I posted something earlier today, and it was just like, you know, basically it's just saying, like, be who you are.
Yes.
Be who you are. Don't be looking to others to become who you feel like you should be.
Yeah.
You looking over here trying to become them. No. Right. Look forward. Look at who God is trying to make you, and not everybody else. Stop trying to keep up with everybody else and what somebody else is doing. Exactly. Just because it shine like gold don't mean it's gold.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Man, and then you got those where, you know, I could put up a post. It could be the most negative post, man. When I say I will get all my friends on both Instagram and social media liking, loving, you know, ABC. But let me put up a post about a business, I'm only getting maybe like 2 or 3, you know, because it's not, again, the Gucci, you know, the Nordstroms, all of that. So, sad reality, sad reality.
Or the body shots, or the butt shots,
or
all that. You get 100 likes.
Yes.
But then when you put on a turtleneck or something like that, it's so true.
It's so true.
It ain't true for me. No, I'm joking.
Listen. Okay, on to the next. As Auntie Yvette said, we are so competitive with each other. We are like crabs in a pot. It's very sad.
Yeah, crabs in a barrel, pulling each other down.
And it's sad because I had just had a conversation with one of my coworkers, and I said, it is a sad reality that the most jealous person is the black woman of another black woman.
Man,
and I said, and it's just so sad. Like me, you know, everyone gets that, oh my God, Lisha, you just walk around, you say hi, you know, whatever, to everyone, yes, because listen, I want that the same, you know, for me. So if I'm walking and I see these ladies, hey ladies, how are you doing? I guess it doesn't hurt to say hi, you know.
It's so crazy because y'all know my experience when I was working at that place. And at that place. And you know, well, it's actually two different places. But my supervisor initially was a black woman when I was going for my master's. And once I finished my master's, it was just her and I in the program who had a master's. And when I tell you, she did every single thing to try to make me look bad, to try to make it seem like I was not doing, incompetent, not doing my job. I didn't know what I was doing. You know, it was just every little thing that, like, and she tried to get me fired. And it was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were initially a team. Yeah. I was doing your job for you while you went and got your hair done, boo. And it was just like, yo, you down, and now you trying to tear me down and make me look bad, which is crazy. And then I go to another job, another black supervisor, and it's just really, it's us as black women, we have to do better. Another black supervisor, she want to call me a bitch. Excuse my language, uncles and aunties who watching. But, first of all, what? I don't talk to my girlfriends like that, and I don't even know you. So then because of that, then it's like, yo, oh my goodness, like, she went above and beyond to try to frame me and make me look bad, but you can't do that to somebody who knows their job, who knows what they're doing, who absolutely, you know, is just not incompetent. So it's like people will do the nastiest things, and as women, as black women, we have to do better with supporting each other and lifting each other up. I did not have that problem when my supervisor was a black man. I didn't.
I will have to say that. Oh man, yeah, that's deep. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, my boo Jeremiah Boots says, going forward, how can young black voters maintain in the future and stay afloat with the capitalist nature of politics in America? Man, that's good.
Good question.
Good question. Good question. Good question.
Young people have to understand that they matter.
Yes.
And young people have to
get out there, please.
Young people have to understand. You have to find the candidate that is best for you. And now, you know, I do believe that a lot of young people are leaning towards Bernie because he's a socialist. He calls himself a socialist. So I do believe that they have to want to understand. And, you know, voting is... Okay, so we had people, leaders in our history, and during the march on Washington, the initial march on Washington, and who died for voting rights, and who died for women's voting rights, and who did sit-ins and walk-ins and whatever, you know, who protested, and for us to be able to vote. Voting is important in my opinion. However, I do believe, I feel like some people feel like, oh, if there's not a candidate that I like, I'm not voting.
Still get out there and vote, please.
I believe that
you can make
every vote matters and every vote counts. However, only if they are doing, only if we are going by, and it's so crazy because I was watching a debate last night, and Bernie was the only one who said that the people's vote matters and that we should vote. I mean that the person who wins should be based on the votes that come in from the people. Bernie was the only one who said that, and it is absolutely true. Honestly, our votes, it counts, but the way that they do it, it doesn't, because they go by the
Electoral college.
I can't say it. But if they went by the popular vote, then the people win. I mean, then the people
win every time.
Our vote matters. So I believe that as young people, you know, you do have to get out there. You do have to make are important. You do matter. You do, your vote counts. So get out there and things are changing.
Right.
Things are changing to meet this new generation's needs. And not everybody sees it, but there are some who see it, and that's just my take on it.
Okay, I agree. Okay, we agree. One more on my end. Phil Jackson says, a lot of times we pay the white man, the Asian man, and others what they want for their time and labor, but won't pay your brother or your sister for their time. Always want the hookup. And that goes back again to what I said earlier. You know, we are quick to want, you know, when you said that there are a lot, there still are good black businesses out here. But it's like we always have our hand out and say, well, can we get a discount on it? Can we get that, you know, for this? Can we do that? And yes.
And that's one thing, because the business that I run, I tell people all the time, like, we are a service. We provide a service for you. You can't walk up in the grocery store and say, hey, I'll pay you later.
Exactly.
Or you can't walk up in the nail salon, get your nails done, and be like, oh, hey, I'll pay you later. You can't do that. We provide a service. People are laboring for this service, so why not pay them? Yes. And in the black community, it saddens me because every time a person puts out what they feel that they are valued, it's like, oh man, can you come down on the price a little bit? No, you have to understand what goes into it. One thing I like about, I think her name is Pretty T something, God's Ivy. One thing she said on there, it was one day she said, the value of $1 is something about, I don't know, it had something to do with the value of the dollar and the value of labor. And it kind of had a list,
broke it down. I remember that
what everything was. It was just like, you don't understand what this person is putting into their business, their labor, what's behind it, behind closed doors. All you see is the fruit of their labor, but you don't see exactly what they're doing behind it. And it bothers me when people say, oh, can I get discount on that, or can I get a discount on that? No, go into the grocery store. You're not going to get a discount on that food. What they're going to do is you're going to think you're going to get a discount. If their value is $10 and it's on sale for $9.99, guess what? That price is $15, so it can come down, and it's originally the same price that you're already paying for.
Man, you gotta say it.
I mean, I'm just saying,
you gotta say it.
Just be knowledge about when you go into somebody's place of business, or if you have a business yourself, don't underestimate yourself because the next person wants a discount. Yes. Say what you are worth. Like, if you're worth this much, don't come down on the price for anyone, because for the simple fact that you know what your value is. Yes. You know exactly what you're supposed to do and be. And that's my take on it.
And as my mentor said it best, when you put this brand out, babe, you're not going to be selling to the same people.
Exactly.
And that was like what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? And, when I think about it, because I remember a time when I had a sale going on, the shoes that I was once selling. And someone asked me, the shoe was on sale for $10. Someone asked me for a discount on $10, y'all.
What?
And I was just like, if you can't afford this $10 shoe, baby, I mean, at this point, I'll give it to you for free. Like,
no, you don't
but
need to be
I know, but it's just like, when I think about it, it's not that you can't afford it. It's just, we
don't
pay for
want
what
to.
we want.
Yeah.
And that was like a smack in the face. I'll never forget telling my husband that, and he's like, I was like, no, we don't get mad over that. We just keep moving. Because I just know now that I've lost a customer, especially when I come out with, the brand.
Yeah, but for every 10 customers you lose, you'll gain one.
Yeah, and I'm on the back end just gaining reliable people. So
exactly.
It's
Listen, what I've learned is when you put out a good product or when it's something that people want, they will buy it. And if they don't, they won't. And at the end of the day, the next person will. So
yes.
deuces. Any more questions, comments?
Oh man, Auntie says yes. Auntie, she said you pay top dollar for Gucci. Why not help your black sisters and or your brothers?
Pretty much.
You better tell it, Auntie. And it's sad because a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
I'm really big on supporting my people.
Yes.
Like I'm really big on that. Especially if you got a bomb product. Listen, I'm out here, I'm supporting, I'm sporting, I'm wearing it, I'm buying it, I'm using it. I've got so many friends who are doing who are entrepreneurs and who have their own businesses and not only just family but friends too.
Yes.
And so if you see me repost something, it's because I know that their product is good.
Yes.
I know that they're doing
just
well.
Push
yeah,
it, just push it.
So we just really have to start supporting one another, and I do believe that if we support one another, we will rise.
Yes. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to end it, you all. Chef Phil, who had a lot to say tonight, says,
thank you.
You see mac and cheese, milk, eggs, cheese, seasoning, and bacon pan. And cheese is not cheap.
Cheese is not cheap. Because I do mac and cheese on the holidays, y'all. Cheese is expensive.
I don't know because I don't cook, so I don't know what is and or what isn't cheap. But I can relate to what he's saying as far as, you get what you pay for. Let's just say that.
Yes, y'all gotta understand.
So, this month I challenge everyone out in
social media world
to take some time out to learn about one person that you didn't know about and research them.
Yes.
We, as people, have done a lot of things back in the day that we have invented. And it's important for us to not only instill that in ourselves, but also the people that we have influence over.
Yes. Our children, our grandchildren, our nieces, our nephews.
Yes.
There's so many people who are great in our own communities. So even if it's just somebody around the corner who did something that was awesome and great in our community, share it and learn about them, get to know them, teach your children, your neighbor, whatever. But this month is a special month because it's about us.
Yes.
And
embrace it.
Yeah, it's about us. So walk like you know who you are.
Hold your head up high. You are royalty.
Yes. Royalty.
And not just this month. You do it
every month.
Yes.
Because we are black every month.
Yes.
Bye.
So thank you all again. Welcome, back to
thank you.
Yes. Sit with us
Season 2. And we are back and better. Hey, we are back and better, and we got some great content coming your way. So we are excited. Yes. We cannot wait to see you guys next month. Mm-hmm. Make sure you get your ticket to the pink event where I will be guest panelist. And make sure you guys stay tuned because we got so much more to come.
Yes, we do. And some of it is going to be a little raw. I mean, everything is raw. Let me take that back. But some of it is going to be some that maybe aunties and uncles cannot sit in.
Yeah, y'all might have to log out.
Y'all know how we are. Sitting on and have fun.
Right.
We love you all.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
See y'all.
Have a good one.
Bye.